St. Louis sports fans, go deeper with STL Sports Central Insiders. Get exclusive access to Bernie, Randy, Claves, Jamal Mayers, and more. Plus, your chance to watch a Blues game in the Alumni Box with Jamal himself. Monthly giveaways, Bernie's columns all week, and support for local sports media. Join now at stlsportscentral.com. Sunday night, the Cardinals traded away Willson. Yeah.
Hold on. I think you have to start that over because I might have bled stuff onto the thing audio wise. I know my mic was muted, but
it wasn't. No, but that's fine.
Sorry.
All right. St. Louis sports fans, go deeper with STL Sports Central Insiders. Get exclusive access to Bernie, Randy, Claves, Jamal Mayers, and more. Plus, your chance to watch a Blues game in the Alumni Box with Jamal himself. Monthly giveaways, Bernie's columns all week, and support for local sports media. Join now at stlsportscentral.com. Sunday night, the Cardinals traded away Willson Contreras to the Boston Red Sox. We were live with you for an instant reaction show right here on STL Sports Central. But on today's Card Central 365, brought to you by DraftKings, where the crown is yours, I thought we'd take a little deeper look into the return that the Cardinals got back for Willson Contreras and kind of look at what that means moving forward for the 2026 season and beyond. So Brenden Schaeffer, as we look at it from the beginning of it, we'll get to the prospects, we'll get to the minor league guys in a bit, but let's start with Dobbins, the pitcher that they got back, made 11 starts for the for the Red Sox last year. One of those against the Cardinals, actually made his major league debut against the Cardinals. As you look at this and you look at what this rotation looks like as of right now, as of we're in the back half of December, does Dobbins, does he seem like a guy that will slide into that rotation from day one, has to earn his spot? Where do you kind of fit him into that mix?
Yeah, I put him in the mix of several guys that are going to be competing for that. The one caveat with him, and I don't know how much it will have an impact, but he's recovering from a torn ACL, which has happened to him apparently a couple of times. And so he pitched up until early July, was out for the remainder of the season. Health-wise, will he be ready at the beginning of the year? With an ACL, I would have to think is a question, if not just an outright no, he's not going to be. So that's number one with that. I haven't heard on, what the progress is on the timeline there, but that's one thing to consider. But let's just talk about it from a perspective of his performance. Like, I think when he's ready, he'll go into that bucket of guys who you could expect, if he made 30 starts for you, to have a 4.5 ERA, 4 to 4.5, capable, back into the rotation, production, maybe not a ton of upside, but can get you through and can give you innings. And that's how we would describe what they want to see from a Richard Fitz. Ideally, Joe, that's what they would want from Andre Pallante, but he has to be capable of doing that, right? When you're getting taken out of games in the second and third inning, like Ollie did at times with him last year, that doesn't really fit the billing. But the Cardinals, they didn't do the drastic thing of non-tendering Andre Pallante, so he's going to get his $3 million and he's going to be around in the mix. But I think he's into that bucket with the two guys that they acquired. And I think probably Kyle Leahy is very much in that conversation as well. I think you could list 7 names, Joe, and obviously there's only going to be 5 to begin the year. I think it really could truly be a competition of whoever's healthy and available when they get to spring training outside of the McGreevy and Liberatore bucket. Those are 2 guys that should be in there. Dustin May should be in there as well, the way they're paying him. Those last 2 spots, I think, are a competition among the remainder.
It should be noted right now, if you go to the Cardinals website, they have not even updated the depth chart to add Dustin May. So if you're going on there to see maybe just kind of how whoever it is that runs the site or however that operates over at Busch Stadium, they have yet to update Dustin May into the rotation for next year. So they do have Richard Fitz in there, though. They do have Fitz and Leahy in that rotation for that. I will say this. Looking at, we're seeing 3 guys that were in the rotation for the Red Sox last year now in the mix for the Cardinals rotation in
Yeah.
26, and looking at, okay, like where did the Red Sox kind of have these guys ranked in their system last year? And Dobbins was on the team opening day. I mean, Dobbins was in there and making a start during the first week of the season, where Fitz kind of came in later in the year. So I think right now, if you're looking at it and if you are kind of ranking these guys, yeah, Dobbins does come above Fitz at this moment, given the issues with the knee.
Yeah, and something that I'll be curious to see when it comes to Dobbins once he's ready with that knee. And like that, those are pretty well off in 9 to 12 months, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if he is held up at the beginning of the season. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm looking at his game logs from last year, Joe, and innings wise, he was regularly, 4 innings, 4 2/3, 5, 3, 5, 5, 6. But I'm looking at his pitch counts in a lot of those games. 66, 72, 52, 60, 64, 82, 75. I wonder if he's a guy that if he can maintain some of that efficiency, a team like the Cardinals would say, hey, dude, you go 6 for us. Like the Red Sox might have had a different prerogative when you're talking about if he's their number 4, their number 5 starter. Hey, let's just 5 and dive. Let's get to the bullpen and try to win this game and steal one with somebody who's toward the back end of our rotation. But the Cardinals might very well approach it differently, Joe. And from that, do you discover that a guy is actually capable of being a workhorse? He can go 95, 100 pitches. He can go 6, 7 innings if you let him. I think Ollie Marmol is going to be intrigued to some of the things that he can just kind of try to do that you don't really have to justify to reporters or to the fan base as much as you would in a season where every win counts. That could be a kind of a downstream effect of where the Cardinals are as an organization. Take a guy like Hunter Dobbins once he's ready. Maybe he ends up being a guy that they say, hey, let's stretch him out a little bit further and see what he can do. And you kind of go from there. I'm intrigued to see if that plays into it at all with him, because he did have good numbers. 4.13 ERA and a 3.87 FIP is more than serviceable with what the Cardinals are looking to get from their rotation this coming year.
And I'll say this too. I will sit here and I'll make jokes about the fact that I'm a 2-time torn ACL survivor, but I will say from a baseball standpoint, in this scenario, it's not an arm injury. It's not a shoulder injury. Like, we're not looking at this the same that we would look at a Tommy John surgery, to where this is a guy who in 2024 threw 125 innings down in the minor leagues. In 23 through 112 innings. So he has surpassed that 100 inning mark. Last year, as we've mentioned, it was July when he tore his ACL. He already had 60 plus innings under his belt then last year. So he was, again, progressing to probably top what he had throughout all of baseball in 24. So arm wise, I know he posted, I think back in November, I think he posted on Instagram or on Twitter a video of playing catch. The arm should not be an issue. The shoulder, the elbow, none of that should be an issue, to where when you're rehabbing the ACL, it is all just lower body. You're working on the knee. I could see him being that 6th man in the rotation, being that long reliever, a guy that you're getting out there and you're just kind of going 2 innings at a time early on and just say, hey, let's get you through these 2 innings and let's go from there. And let's just see how this works. Maybe like a Steven Matz role, maybe for him going into next season, to where you're not pushing him as much as maybe you have, as you let him really more of the mental side of thing get over. Hey, I tore my ACL covering first base. Let's get me through 2-3 innings at a time. Hopefully I don't have to do that. And everything else will just come back to me naturally.
Yeah, I think there will be a time where they can ramp him up and trust that the injury he's recovering from, like you said, is not an arm injury. And so you're hopeful that, the fact that he has built up innings, you're still getting credit for that, right? Like, he's still somebody that, yeah, you'll take it slow at first, but as he goes along, can potentially do more for you.
This is Card Central 365 here on STL Sports Central, and all content is brought to you by DraftKings, where the crown is